In a modern society immersed in complexities and uncertainties, a crisis emerges that no longer affects only the isolated individual but expands into a collective existential crisis. This crisis, fueled by factors like climate change, political uncertainty, and growing automation, generates a rising sense of absurdity, loss of control, and questioning of purpose. Imagine a scenario of vibrant, connected cities, where technology advances at a frightening pace. Robots replace human labor, automated systems make decisions for us, and as the digital world thrives, the natural world slowly dies. Climate change brings increasingly frequent ecological disasters, while political crises stir deep social divisions, destabilizing long-held beliefs about progress and hope for the future. At this juncture, society collectively asks, what's the point of continuing? How do we deal with a reality that seems to be slipping from our hands? It's no longer just individuals who suffer, but entire communities, in a perpetual state of uncertainty and existential anxiety. The feeling is one of mass alienation, a disconnection from the structures that once held the world together. Albert Camus, in his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, presents the concept of the absurd, the human search for meaning in an indifferent and chaotic universe. Camus suggests that the world offers no answers and that the only way to confront this reality is to acknowledge the absurd and find a way to continue living without illusions. In the collective existential crisis, this absurdity is felt by millions. Climate change, for example, is clear evidence that the natural world does not respond to human desires for control or safety. Environmental devastation creates a deep sense of futility, a reminder that humanity, despite all its intelligence, cannot prevent the impending collapse. As Camus proposed, the response to this dilemma might lie in a kind of rebellion against the absurd, an acceptance of our inability to control the world but a decision to keep living and fighting for meaning, even when the future seems bleak. Jean-Paul Sartre, another existentialist thinker, adds another layer of analysis. Sartre believed that in the absence of predetermined meaning, we are radically free. But this freedom comes with a burden, the burden of having to create meaning in a world that offers none naturally. In his famous phrase, "Existence precedes essence," Sartre suggests that human beings are not born with an intrinsic purpose, it's up to us to create one. In the collective existential crisis, this freedom can become a source of anguish. When institutions fail, when politics becomes a game of uncertainties, and when automation strips human labor of its value, Sartrean freedom to create purpose becomes frightening. We are forced to reinvent ourselves, to seek new ways of finding meaning in a world that seems to be falling apart. Growing automation, for example, challenges one of the main sources of meaning and identity in modern society, work. If machines are doing human tasks, what remains of our value? How do we find purpose in a future where jobs disappear and the pace of technology outstrips human ability to adapt? Sartre would argue that this void, this loss of identity through work, offers a painful but necessary opportunity to recreate who we are and how we contribute to the world. Political uncertainty, on the other hand, creates the perfect backdrop for the collective crisis of freedom. When democratic choices are undermined by corrupt or unstable systems, when political divisions deepen, and public discourse fragments, political freedom, so central to Sartre's philosophy, becomes suffocating. The individual finds themselves lost in a sea of misinformation and polarization, unable to exercise their freedom fully. The existential anguish of not knowing what to choose, or whether choices even matter, permeates the collective. The answer to this collective existential crisis may not be clear. Perhaps, as Camus and Sartre suggested, there is no definitive answer. The existential crisis is, in itself, part of the human condition, and its collective manifestation reflects the current stage of our civilization. However, the acceptance of the absurd and the continuous creation of meaning, even in the face of chaos, may be the paths to follow. Camus' revolt against the absurd and Sartre's freedom to create one's own destiny offer a framework for modern societies to navigate these turbulent waters. But the real question is, how far are we willing to go to find meaning in a world that increasingly seems to challenge us to give up on it? This was today's reflection. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Keep philosophizing, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, it's not enough to gain wisdom, you must use it.